just giving everybody a few more moments to log on and join in. Thank you all for that's already joining. And we'll begin just shortly. Okay, so we are 12 o'clock on the dot. Is everybody ready? Those that have video up. My name is Nicole Tootill. I am the manager here at our Lakewood office for Coldwell Banker Coastal Alliance. So thank you for joining us. I'm pretty excited, a little bit nervous. I see that I have Michael Wysocki on from CBAR, and
hello.
You're like a legend. So now I'm like, oh no.
No pressure.
Right? Okay, guys, so I wanted to thank you again for joining today. We are going to be talking about some buyer and seller packets. These are things over the years that I have just come to collectively learn that I try to provide service to my clients, whether they're buyers or sellers. Note to self, let me know if I'm talking too fast for you, because a little bit of my Italian blood gets going and I start rattling off. So I apologize, and I'm trying to be a little bit more zen there for you guys and talk slower. So I have a few things that I wanted to talk about today and share to you. I do not get any I can't think of the word, but for using any of the programs I'm going to show you how I compile my packets. I don't get endorsed. That's the word I'm looking for. So these are just things, like I said, over the years that I have found that work really, really good. And they're super easy to compile. Most of them are already compiled for you. So whether it might just take you 5-10 minutes of putting in your own picture of your own mug and your information, and then getting them printed and ready to go. So back in the day when we used to have open houses, right? These were great things to be able to have and utilize for our potential clients that were coming into the open houses. We're going to get back there one day. So these are things that I've even taken these as PDFs and been able to email to clients when we've been in this time of COVID and not able to meet face to face. So that's another thing that I do love about these. They're very versatile. So let me go in. I'm going to share my screen with you. I think the biggest information that I actually have on, and what I say isn't key, it's not perfect. Everybody just needs to adapt to it and take it from what is going to work for you. That's the biggest thing I love about our careers and our profession, is we're able to, have so much of wealth of information and then pick and choose what is going to work for you. So hopefully you guys have an open mind for this. And I know that there is a lot of experienced agents on this. And I've learned from some of you of some of these tools and tricks. So let me go into my share screen here. Sorry guys, I'm just trying to get there. I think the first thing that I absolutely love, this is such an easy tool to utilize, is Breakthrough Broker. Breakthrough Broker is a program that you can get from usually any of your title people can sign you up for, but some of your MLS organizations or associations provide you with free access into this program. So again, it's completely free that you are able to go into. I don't get endorsed from them, but it's a program that I love. The reason why I love this is there is what we call right here on the screen, a complete buyer's packet. So this packet, I'm going to show you in a PDF of what it looks like. It's great to be able to have for your buyer. This is a packet that I keep at open houses. I sometimes don't necessarily give it away to them, but I have it there as a reference, and I kind of keep it with me as a Trotsky. So when we are able to meet face-to-face and have that first buyer interview, it's something that I pull back out to them and for them and kind of go over. So let me show you what that buyer packet looks like. And let me pull it up here. Can you guys see this good?
Yes.
Okay, thank you. I'm trying to get there. My little screen here is not working the best right now. So after putting in my picture, your email, your cell phone information, it's going to generate you this wonderful packet. It's only about 10 pages because when we're dealing with buyers, most of their eyes gloss over in about the first 5 minutes, right? So this packet here has a step-by-step process for them with some glossary terms and what we're going to experience on this new adventure and ride together. So one thing that I do love is when I am doing a consultation with them, one of the packets, one of the pages in this packet that I love is just a general questionnaire. This questionnaire is probably more for me than for them. Anybody that has been in the business for a while, you kind of already have your go-to questions of what you're going to be asking your buyer or your seller, right? This is some of those general questions for our newer agents that maybe don't quite know what to ask for or what is important to that buyer.
Nicole?
Yes.
Sorry, are you showing that page? Hi, because I can't see it. All I can see is the main website page.
You can't see this packet?
No, I can't. I don't know if anyone else can.
Anybody else?
I can't see it either. It's 80.
Oh shoot. Okay.
No.
All I'm seeing is
Thank you, because I'm just sitting here talking. So hold on one second.
Yeah, we're just seeing the first page that says get started.
Okay, thank you for that, Cynthia, too. I don't know where it went to. Okay, let's try this one. How about this one?
Yes.
Okay.
Where it says buyer's packet?
Yeah,
Yep.
we can see that.
Woo.
Thank you.
Okay.
Good job.
No, thank you for speaking up because I would have just kept rambling. Oh, technology. Thank you. I appreciate that. So this buyer's questionnaire is great. Rosie, Amy, these are some great questions that you can ask your potential buyers when you're either meeting with them or when you're doing a face-to-face. What I love about it is it's built right into this packet. So you don't have to remember. Sometimes some of us agents, I've trained and mentor agents where they like to give this to the buyer, have the buyer fill it out. Sometimes the agent likes to go over those questions face-to-face or on a phone and they fill it out. But it's built in for you. It also goes over financing and pricing. I think when we're dealing with a buyer, our first question that we want to ask a buyer is, do you have financing? Have you met with a lender? Are you pre-approved? And if they need assistance in locating a preferred lender. So those are great questions. Kind of gives them a little bit of a feel of what they're asking for in a home or what they're looking for. Also, this is for our newer agents. Just because a client says that they want a pool, never just show them pool homes. Everybody that's been here for a while knows what I'm talking about. Because granted, they will probably find a home that has no pool without you. This is another great thing in this packet that I love is it just has common terms. These are things that we utilize as real estate agents on a daily. You know, we have a lot of acronyms that we use. These are common terms for when we're talking to our buyer. So when you're having that consultation for them, you know, it goes over some of the big key items that maybe you want to discuss more, a little bit more in depth with them and do a little bit more of a deep dive. So it gives you about 2 to 3 pages of all these wonderful acronyms or all these wonderful, you know, explanations of what is title. You know, what does it mean when we say that, oh, the loan's in underwriting? So these are great things. Oh, let's see if I can make this one larger. Bear with me. This one here, let me minimize it, see if you guys can do it. This is a great tool, not only that you can use in this packet, but you're able through Breakthrough Broker, and you have it as a JPEG and share on your social media. So that's a great little tidbit too through this program. But it talks about the benefits of home ownership, makes it nice, cute, and pretty. You don't have to design anything whatsoever. It's already done there for you. And I think this is the most important. This is my favorite slideshow when I'm talking with a buyer that's included in this packet. And this is basically just what the path of home ownership is, how we're going to be meeting with a real estate professional, hence why they're already meeting with us, about them getting pre-approved, searching for homes, and it kind of walks them through the process. This used to be my favorite slide in this whole buyer's packet when I'm meeting with buyers, because you can really kind of sum up the whole transaction right here. And then it just gives a little bit of a house hunting checklist that they can use. Note to self, I haven't had a lot of buyers ever utilize this page, but we have utilized this page a lot. This is, again, a free buyer's packet that we can find through Breakthrough Broker. This is one of my favorites. Again, when I'm meeting with a buyer for one of the first times face-to-face, this is something that I go over with them. I love it. It's very easy because it can take you literally probably 5 to 10 minutes to do. So you're not really hunting through trying to design something for yourself. Let's see. Let me see if this will transfer over to another packet, because we do have a beautiful home buyer guide that we have that is specific just for Coldwell Banker. So again, this is another packet that I have utilized in the past that I believe maybe, because I know we have different companies on this call, our company here at CBCA, our marketing director, Casey, has one of these packets that usually, and I'm happy to send this out to you guys too, completely customizable through PowerPoint. Let me see.
Nicole?
Yes, ma'am.
Hi. So this one you just showed us, not the Coldwell Banker or the other one. I see that you can customize it, but can it be sent via email to your client?
Yes. So actually it comes to you in a PDF. You can download it.
Yeah.
And that's what I've done. I've been able, when, especially during these virtual times, you can even do a Zoom call and share it just like how I'm sharing it with a buyer doing a consultation with them.
Is it fillable via the PDF? Like the questions, like you can be having this meeting with them and they give you their answers and you can type it in, or no?
No, you can't.
Okay. Right.
But if you have somebody that's technology savvy, they can take this and create it into a fillable PDF.
Yeah.
So
Thanks.
I'm not gonna give out names in our company, Kathy, but there are people that can do that. So that's a great tool and that's a great idea. I'm so glad you asked that.
So, Nicole, how many pages is this?
This is only 10 pages. So another thing why I love it is it's not too long and it's not too short.
Perfect.
So you kind of have hooked them, given them a little bit of a tidbit of information of how the process is going to be, and maybe gain some key information back from them, and their eyes usually aren't glossing over.
So much of this information I have had in my buyer's packet for years, but
Wonderful.
I love the fact that this is all in a really nice looking packet. Mine are just sheets of paper in a folder, glossary of terms, all that stuff. We also used to have a buyer's booklet. I don't know that we still have those. I'm not sure that we still have those. Do we?
Something like this?
Yeah, it was a booklet. It was from Coldwell Banker.
Okay.
A booklet, and so I used those originally, but then I don't know what happened to those. I don't know if we never got them anymore or whatever, but I started my own, and they're literally just sheets of paper with all this information on it in a folder, a Coldwell Banker folder for my buyers. So I love this whole idea, and it's only 10 pages, which is perfect. You can just print it out and fill it out while you're with them,
go
and
with it.
you take one sheet and give them the rest or whatever, whatever.
Well, also in Coldwell Banker Exchange, excuse me, which I need to get used to because it's changing to Coldwell Banker Desk. There is a whole search bar on your toolbar when you first log in, your dashboard, and you can put in buyer presentations. And those are customized Coldwell Banker buyer presentations. I'm going to share you with what one looks like. And I hope I didn't just get rid of it. And I just did by accident. So give me a minute.
It's CB Exchange, right?
Through CB Exchange, yes.
A buyer's,
It is a buyer presentation.
presentation, okay.
Let's see. I don't know if you guys are going to be able to see what I'm seeing. Give me just a minute. Do you see something where it says a home buyer guide?
Yeah, we see your new PDF tab.
Thank you. Thank you, thank you. So this is one actually that you can find, and I have found, and I believe Casey has found, and we kind of had one together as a company here at CBCA. This is something that you can find through Coldwell Banker Exchange, and it's basically a home buyer guide. This one I do like because it does give a lot of specifics about Coldwell Banker. And I hate to say this, I kind of judge my clients of which one I'm going to kind of give them. I may slip this into my buyer consultation folder, but maybe not hit on it too much. I'm an old school person to where I kind of go by gut feelings a little bit, and I kind of read my client. And if I see that they're not even interested in this, or if I already have them, like if they're ready to jump in the car and go, then I'm not going to waste my time on this. Yeah. So I hate to say that, but that's how I've always kind of operated. I tell you, it's that Italian gut.
I know that feeling, Nicole.
What I love about this is you can completely customize it for yourself. So sometimes our established agents do like to use this because this can really give them, and it's almost like a listing presentation, so to say, where you can really showcase about yourself. Now for newer agents that don't have maybe a lot of certifications, they don't have a lot of experience, they get really hung up by some of these pages because they're like, I don't know what to put. So that's why the other packet I truly love, because you can just set it, put it in there, and bam, it's done. But this one here again is more geared about you, what your goals are, what your awards have been, but then it gives you wonderful information about Coldwell Banker, and also about our company. So for those of you that are with CBCA, we can go ahead and send this out because some of it has been tweaked just for our company, to where if you're going to find that on Coldwell Banker Exchange, you would have to connect with myself, Nick, Casey, Rachel, and try to get this information. But we can always send this out to you because it comes as a PowerPoint, which is very, very nice. And it's shareable. It's shareable. You can make it as a PDF to email. I've had to email this before. Or you can do Zoom calls for if we can't go back to meeting in person. But this is a great one here too. It kind of gives them, again, the benefit of ownership, our rent versus buy type of scenario. Down here at the bottom, it completely has everything for Coldwell Banker, gives them a step-by-step process, but it's 26 pages long. I've also customized, as you can see, I've thrown in one of those slides from Breakthrough Broker that was on the previous packet. And so it does have a lot of information for your buyers that you're able to utilize as well. So this is great to be able, it really comes down to a preference, I think, but I wanted to showcase it to everybody because I'm going to tell you, not a lot of people know that something like this exists in Coldwell Banker Exchange or within their own brokerage. But again, like I was saying, Cynthia, it's 26 pages long.
Yeah, are the pages numbered?
They are not. It's only going to be numbered, and you can only see it up here.
I mean, that's good because there are some pages you might be able to leave off.
Absolutely.
You could customize.
It's just like our listing presentation. We may not want to talk about a smart home,
right?
Somebody that doesn't have those clarifications.
Yeah.
So again, it kind of just goes over a little bit more about them. Or I'm sorry, not about them, about our process, what comes next, how we're presenting offer. This I do love because not a lot of buyers understand that when we are presenting an offer to our clients, they don't realize that we package it up. And packaging it up, we mean that we usually have a cover letter. We may have a letter there about what the offer entitles. We have, of course, our purchase contracts. We may have a contingency removal if we're removing that. but also our pre-approvals, our EMDs, our proof of funds. So they don't realize that we incorporate all of that sometimes together. So I do like that this actually kind of shows them a little bit of what may be included with an offer. So again, it just kind of talks to them a little bit about what the process is. I think personally, this is a great slide. Sometimes in today's world with our children, they don't understand why mom and dad are selling or moving. But I think there could be a lot of these slides that are taking a big picture like this. Get rid of it. You don't need it in there. You know, it's a useless piece of paper. So again, I like to showcase to everybody what they can and cannot, you know, use. That these are things at your fingertips. Again, I'm not going to say I don't like the Coldwell Banker one, but the previous one that I showed you, I like. It's a little bit more streamlined, I feel. Any questions that you guys have? I'm going to try to jump onto the chat. I apologize. I'm not knowing if anybody's putting anything there. I don't think so.
Quick question. So this
Yes.
is found under CBX buyer presentation.
Yes.
Okay. All right. Just double checking. Thank you.
Yeah, no, absolutely. I'm one that I love to play around in Coldwell Banker Exchange. There is a lot of information in there. It may not be the best setup sometimes of how to download forms or, you know, saving items, but there is a wealth of information in our program that we have here at Coldwell Banker.
Hey, Nicole, do
Yes.
you want me to follow the chat for you? Just to like, so you can.
Sure, do you want to be my moderator?
Yeah. I can do that for you. One of the questions was, how do we get the previous one that you showed? Did you answer that? That was breakthrough.
I did not. This one here, I'm assuming. So this one here is actually found through breakthroughbroker.com. Breakthrough Broker, let's see if I can stop sharing for a minute. Hold on 1 minute. And let's see if I can share it again. So Breakthrough Broker is a something that was set up by one of my title company reps. But from my understanding, that if a title company rep sets you up on this, you actually have more access to more tools. I don't know if that's the case. That's what I've been told from other agents. But you are able to go in and log in yourself and create an account. What I love is all of it is free. There's JPEGs, there's social media. Again, I'm not endorsed by them. This wasn't what this whole meeting was about, but they have some great information on their program, on their website. And one of them right here is the complete buyer's packet. So the packet that I just previously showed that's only 10 pages long is this packet. And what you can do is up here in the top right, there's a search tab. You can just type in buyer packet or buyer, start typing in and it's going to start popping up all different kinds of things. They do have their own buyer presentation template, which I will go over again too. A lot of this is buyers. I think trying to get buyers is probably one of the most hooks that we try to get. And so they do have their own presentation on that as well. But for this buyer's packet.
Do you know when they're presenting?
I'm sorry, what was that?
When are they presenting the buyers?
What do you mean when they're presenting the buyers?
What?
Oh. Carter must be talking to himself.
I think there was one question that did you show another one prior to Breakthrough Broker and CB Exchange? Was it another one you showed first, Nicole?
No.
Okay.
Let's see, hold on. It was just this one. Yes?
Yeah, that's the one from Breakthrough Broker, right?
Correct. Yes, it is.
Okay. So I'm still a little confused, Nicole. The Breakthrough Broker, we go to that breakthroughbroker.com, but you said something about going through a title company?
Yeah, so you can actually talk to your title rep.
Oh.
Like one of my title reps at Fidelity set us up here for our office on this program.
Oh,
and when I've had other agents log in themselves without going through a title rep, there's some tools and tricks built into their program that they don't have access to.
Oh, we have more access if we go through a title rep.
Yes.
And do
Mom.
all the title reps have access to this?
I don't have the shit anymore.
Hey, oh, there he goes. Okay.
You need to mute him.
I muted him.
Thank you.
So I believe so, but I'm not 100% sure.
Okay.
Yeah. So I know Fidelity and I know Ticor have access for this. Now, I'm not 100% sure about anybody else, and I apologize about that.
No, that's okay. I don't use either of them, so that's why I'm curious.
Yeah.
Sorry.
No. It's, yin and yang, right?
Yeah, well, you know.
So,
30 years, I use the same person all the time.
Hey, when you find something and it's not broken, don't fix it, just keep going. So another great thing sometimes when I'm doing a presentation with my buyer, this I do keep at, when we're allowed to do home open houses, I do keep this handy, and this I do give to buyers. Because this is just a standard PDF. It comes in nice little, I don't know if you guys can see my picture. Your title reps can give you this document. It's a nice little booklet. I sometimes get a little cheesy and just staple my card to it if I'm at an open house. But it's just a guide to title and escrow. And it goes over, they have it in a PDF, as you can see. I found this straight on Orange Coast's website. All the title companies have this form. Can everybody see it? It looks like a mom and dad with kids.
Yeah, we can see it.
Okay.
Yes.
Sorry. Just want to make sure I'm doing this right, Michael. Thank you. So this just has a little bit of information for them, but sometimes, maybe as an agent, you don't feel comfortable talking about title. Maybe you don't feel comfortable talking about escrow and what escrow is. There's a lot of Chomsky stuff in the beginning. But there is like a whole, different chapters of what information is for them. So this is what I love, because sometimes we'll get little sidebar conversations at open houses. I think Jennifer's been at one where there's like a little sidebar and, they're asking for something and you can just grab this booklet. So this is great that I always have at buyer presentations. I also take it at seller presentations when I have something available. And that's why I keep it at open houses, because it's for both sides of a transaction. And it just gives a little bit more of a detailed information, kind of goes over what a buying process is. But again, what I love is it just talks about what escrow and title is. So this is a booklet that I always keep handy along with whatever buyer packet or whatever seller packet that I have readily available.
And you, Nicole, just for clarity, you said that every title company has that, but the one we're looking at, this is from Breakthrough Broker, or this is from?
No, I'm
Orange
sorry, hon.
Coast?
This one is from Orange Coast.
Okay.
So what you can do is call your title company. Like right before COVID, we were supposed to have one of these classes, and I called, our rep at Orange Coast and was like, hey, can you get me some buyer and seller guides? And that's what they're called, buyer and seller guides. But
Well,
any title rep has them.
Right.
Yeah.
How many do you usually have on hand, Nicole?
I hate paper. So probably only like 5 or 6.
Okay.
Especially right now. I'm not out there, I'm the manager, so I'm not out there trying to do open houses and gain clients. All of my clients are referred to me. So I don't keep a lot of that like too much on hand, because either they've already been a past client or we've already had some sort of conversation. So I don't keep too many of those on hand, because I don't need them at open houses, because.
And this is not something you would just hand out to everybody that walks in anyway. These
Absolutely
are expensive for the title company to have, and this is something you'd only hand to a serious buyer, someone you think you're going to
Absolutely.
as a buyer. So,
Right.
Yeah.
Yeah, it's definitely not something that you're out there passing out to everybody. It's just something for those serious people that you are having that conversation with.
And Nicole, does that also come in an emailable PDF?
Yes, ma'am, it does, because how I downloaded it was a PDF, so I have it just saved to my file or to my computer, and then that is emailable as a PDF as well.
Thank you.
There's a special guest speaking today, right?
Who is
Oh my
that?
God, Carter's
I
cracking me
don't
up.
know. I think we might have been hacked. I don't know.
Carter's cracking me up. Hey, there was someone, Derek is asking, he's saying, I'll take that slide you have if it's possible. I'm not sure which slide that he's referring to, but I wanted to give him that moment.
Okay,
I'm,
I'm gonna
I'm
write.
sorry, you guys invited me to this. That's how I got in here.
Who are you?
Who are you?
I have no idea because it says hi. I got a text saying, hi, Olivia, you're invited to the Zoom.
I
It
think
was
you've
probably
been hacked.
some error, hun.
I think
So
we've been hacked.
I think you guys got the wrong number.
Oh,
Yeah, I think so too. Sorry, you can just log off.
Feel free to hang up. Jesus.
That's hysterical.
You got.
He was okay. He was okay with it.
Oh, poor guy. No wonder he's confused.
Sounded like a high schooler. Poor soul. Get ready. He's getting ready for social distance learning.
oh my God, I love social media.
Oh, God.
Okay, so that's about that. Now I'm gonna hit on. Give me 1 second. Oh, really fast. See that, and Kathy, that you might want to know this too. If you guys use Fidelity, just how I showed you Orange Coast Title's buyer and seller packet or buyer and seller title and escrow booklet. This is Fidelity's. So see, everybody has one. The next one is actually, I don't give out listing presentations at all. My seller's packets, when I have a potential seller that comes in, contacts me, I usually don't like, I'm a weird agent, I usually don't like to give them any information up front or ahead of time. If they're contacting me, they probably already have done their research if they're not a referral-based person, or we've hit it off at an open house, or we've hit it off somewhere else. So I really kind of save all my goodies for when I'm actually needing them. But sometimes I do bring this next slide, what you're looking at right now, to an open house when I am doing, and if I'm doing open houses, because I do like to have something that's readily available. It doesn't give them too much information. It may give them a little bit more information about myself, but it's not something that I don't believe in sharing too much of that information at that time, because if I'm going to give away all the goods up front, then why are we going to have a face-to-face? I don't know if that makes sense to you guys, but this here is another, it comes as a PowerPoint. It is called a pre-listing packet, basically. It is able to be, this is something that might take a little bit of time. Everybody has their own. I've seen some other great agents that have a great little pre-sell packet, pre-listing packet. Theirs blows this out of the water. They should be on the call. But this here is something that is just fast and handy to have with readily available when you might have a potential seller that walks in and wants to have a little bit of information. Again, it doesn't give too much information other than just a little bit about yourself. These are all customizable slides that you are able to take and run with. And
oh, sorry, guys.
I knew it was you right away, too. Toxic, again, it has a slide for a little bit about you. But what I do love is because not a lot of people do realize the power that we have behind our names. This is a great slide. If anybody has a listing presentation from Coldwell Banker, you've already seen this slide. This is something that's also very replicating a slide that is in, oh, what's the name? Our CB online digital listing platform. I'm blanking out. Where's Michael when I need him? It's going to come to me. But it replicates that slide. And basically what it does is it tells you where our volume is and who we are in numbers. Globally is the ones at top. Locally customized office information is down below. So this is great because sometimes how many people, you know, working, when they see Coldwell Banker, all they see is that bank part and they don't know about us, right? Some cases, not everybody, but some. Oh, let's see, hold on. CBX, yes, thank you. Yes, this pre-listing, really fast, Jeanette, this pre-listing packet can be found on Coldwell Banker Exchange, and you could put in pre-listing packet. What I've also done is kind of taken it and just plucked and choose from all different sources to make my own. When we're all done, if anybody wants any of these customizable, you know, slides for yourself, please let me know. I'm all about sharing. You can take them, you can tweak them, you can do whatever you want with them.
I want
Please, you know, I don't mind sharing whatsoever. This is another thing, this has changed. So see, you can see I'm a bad teacher right now because I need to update this slide. But again, it just talks about Coldwell Banker, you know, and where we're at as still the #1 most visited real estate brand online. But I love this no matter who you're talking to because it's right there in black and white and it's numbers. And then it just talks about our service as far as what an agent can do. So this is just a pretty generic slide that any agent is going to be able to tell them what the process is, you know, as far as marketing, preparing, pricing. So again, I'm not giving away really what my steps are. This is just kind of like what an agent is going to be talking to them about. And then staging to sell, again, this is all what agents are going to talk about. You know, it really is going to come down to that interpersonal communication and connection that you have with your client. So again, I feel like if I have this and I'm going to give it to somebody that I'm having a serious conversation with and setting up an appointment with from an open house to potentially go list it, I don't feel that this is going to give away too much of the farm there. Just again, talks a little bit about home enhancement of what we could do. Doesn't mean they're going to have to do it. And then again, it's just my information again on the back. So it's really not a lot of information, but it's something that's handy to have. And it's great because they feel like they're coming away with something. You know, when we go to the fair, we all like to come away with something that's free, whether it be a fan, a pen. You know, think about those stupid opportunities that we're like, yes, I want one of those. Some of us think of it as, I don't want any more crap for my house. You're not going to take that. But most of the time when you're at somewhere and you're meeting with somebody and you're connecting and you're having a conversation and you have your phone in hand and you're setting up that appointment, you can gladly say, hey, let me go ahead. You know, I have this, just a little bit of preview about the company, about myself, not too much in depth because that's really where we're going to specialize and talk about your home when we're meeting face to face on August the 1st at 7 o'clock. But this is something that you could take away and they're like, oh, wow, okay, gee, thanks. I'm going to look at this. And they get a little bit happy. It's stupid mind trick, but it's, so it doesn't give away too much. I don't think it's like really a wazoo type of document or packet, but it's something to have. I know that we've talked about, we're going to be doing an actual listing presentation class, and that's really where you get into the meat and the potatoes. I think buyer and seller packets, I really just kind of concentrate on a buyer packet. Because a listing, you know, to have a seller packet is really like a listing presentation, and you're not going to be giving that away when you're just meeting somebody off the street or at an open house. You know, that's really going to be on a customized one-on-one time frame. Any questions about this little guy right here? You good? Okay. Let me stop sharing this for a minute. Yes, Jeanette, yes, we do have updates. So a lot of this information, like I said, I was a bad teacher there for a minute and I had 2017 information. There are new quotables that have come out with new information. That's what Coldwell Banker calls them. We call them our Coldwell Banker quotables. And it has more of the information. So it's something actually for CBCA, I was trying to get together with the management team and maybe put a glossier one together as far as a listing packet to have on hand. So you're not giving away too much information, but you're enticing them with a little bit of information. Does anybody have any questions about any of the items that I just kind of showcased? Trying to see if I've missed anything for you guys. We're good. I do have one more. Again, I'm not endorsed by Breakthrough Broker, but for those of you, I wanted to showcase you that they do have a buyer presentation, and I don't think I shared this with you guys. Can you guys see this? Yes, where it says like finding your new home.
Yes.
Okay, I'm not gonna lie because I'm a straight shooter. I don't fluff anything. I literally found this on Breakthrough Broker at 11:30, and I went through really fast and I updated it with my information. So it took me like 10 minutes of just clicking, copying, putting items in. But again, this is another great item. Again, it's going to come down to what you feel comfortable showing your client. But I like to show you all of the packets that are available for you.
And this one's called what, Nicole?
This one here is called a buyer presentation. And this one again is found through Breakthrough Broker. I should probably get endorsed by them. I'm going to talk to them about that. I'm going to start. Oh, see, I didn't even change my mug there.
That's your partner.
Yeah, that's Jane Smith. She's cool. If anybody wants to use her in Denver, let me know. But you can see, like, there's a little bit of still information on here. I do not have 3 kids, good God. But, you know, you can customize it for yourself. I kind of customize it a little bit. This is really sad. I don't have a lot of information right here. I could probably really, if I sat and thought about it, I could add some more items in, you know, maybe award-winning certain years.
So I'm confused because the first one was the buyer.
There's 2, Jennifer.
Yeah.
One is a buyer's packet that you are really kind of just sitting and knowing about the buyer. Okay. That's why I said you really, I'm so bad at this. It's really going to come down to what you're going to want to use. You know, they both kind of have the same information. They're just overlapping in different ways. We all see things visually different. So it's whatever you are going to feel best at communicating to your clients and utilizing. But I like to showcase them to you guys.
So I'm just going to recap just so, because I'm like Jennifer right now. I'm a little confused.
I've lost you over, Cynthia.
Okay, so so CB Exchange is where we will find a buyer presentation and a pre-listing packet.
Yes, ma'am.
BreakthroughBroker.com, we can either go there directly or we could go to a title rep, and that's where we get the 10-page packet. And also buyer presentation?
Yes.
Okay. And then the guide to title and escrow, or I guess it's called the buyer and seller guide, that we get strictly from a title rep.
Yes.
Ah, I got it. Okay. All right.
You're on it. You're good.
I got it.
See, it takes a little bit of homework to kind of get this all in play. Some of my mentees know that I always tell them, find a day, find a time, whether it be, you know, we got too many months to go until Christmas time, but find a time when you can sit and take an hour and get all of this stuff together for yourself. A lot of it is just cutting and pasting from one system to another, whether it be your picture, your logo, or your personal information.
So we can customize this ourselves through these websites?
Yes.
Wherever. Okay, so we don't need tape for us. We can, this is, okay, got it.
Casey will probably hate me for saying no, but she may love me.
No, I mean, I'll probably end up going to her anyway because I'm definitely not a techie, so. Yeah,
so actually what happens, Cynthia, is when you go through Breakthrough Broker or even Coldwell Banker Exchange, you are going to download that to your computer, okay? So you're going to save that download into wherever you want to save it that you know. Like I have one that has buyer presentations. One folder is called listing presentations. When you get them downloaded, they come to you as a PowerPoint, just like how you're seeing right here on my screen. This is a PowerPoint. So everything on here, if I click, see how you can see like the little boxes? You're able to put in your picture. Now, what is her name? Jane Smith's picture was in here initially, and I put my picture in there. Okay. So all of it, my logo, I was able to switch out their logo and put in one of our logos. I was able to click over here and change the information. So all of that, when it comes to you, you're able to do. You're able to customize. And then you can just file and save it, okay? And you can save it as a PowerPoint, or if you're like Kathy and you want to email it to a client, you can save it as a PDF.
Okay.
And then that is what is good emailable. That makes sense?
Yeah.
Okay. So again, this one is a little bit different from the buyer's packet because we're not really asking the buyer for what some of their needs are. We're not going too much in depth over glossary and terms, but we are showing them a roadmap of how the process goes. So again, I like to showcase this because this may be a better format for you of how you want to talk to your client. Again, it's whatever is customizable and makes you feel easy. Who wants a class? Somebody wants a class on PowerPoint. We can do that. I don't know if I would be the best person, but we can definitely do that. I think we need to have like a Microsoft Office class.
I can talk to Vicky about that.
Okay. I know we get a lot of questions really fast, Michael, about like how to work Excel, how to work Word sometimes, and even I think PowerPoint though, PowerPoint and Excel. But I'll even talk to Nick. I think that's something that we should probably do one day. That would be cool. So anyways, this gives a lot of great information. And again, all this stuff is built in. Like all of this is here. You don't need to do anything. It's almost like a crock pot. You're going to throw in a little bits of information or a little bit of an ingredients like this CB logo, but most of the stuff is there and you're just going to set it one time and it's going to be good to go for the next 10 open houses that you do. You know, so it may take you an hour to set 3 or 4 of these up, but you're going to have them. They're going to be easy, grabbable, and go. One of my mentors, when I first got my license, every like January, he would do these. This is back in the day when 3-ring binders and like triple sheets of paper. I forget what those are called now, but he would have like 25 to 30 of these printed up ahead of time. So he was good. He like set it and forgot it and then grabbed what he needed for every open house. We're going to get back there. It's coming for open houses. Don't know when, but it's coming. So be prepared. But it's also good to have if you guys are doing anything virtual. You know, if you wanted to do, I'm going to get off topic for a minute. If you guys wanted to do like a virtual, hey, how to buy a house, steps of process, what are the processes to home buying? This could be a great little like Zoom, Facebook Live class that you do. That's another whole topic, like I said, but you could pick and choose some of this stuff and maybe just do it for like 15, 20 minutes on Facebook. Do a e-bright invite type of thing. So it's great, shareable. So again, it just walks you through your buyer of what you're going to be happening, what they're going to be looking for in a property. These are some of the search tools. What happens again when they're making an offer? So it is quite lengthy, well, not too lengthy. It's actually, this one here is 13 pages. So it doesn't go over like what their wants and needs are like the buyer's packet previously, but it does showcase, you know, everything that happens in a buyer's transaction, which is really, really nice.
I think this
So
one,
again,
I think this one looks really nice too.
it looks professional. I like it. It's a different slideshow. It's more modern looking. So it might be something that, you know, you want to put into a buyer presentation packet and go over, and then maybe the buyer's packet where it has the questionnaires, you might want to kind of keep that for yourself and mark down those answers so you kind of know what they're looking for, what their hots and cold buttons are, and be able to go from there. Does that make sense?
Yeah, you had one question. Are there seller packets in Breakthrough Broker?
There are. I just didn't do any. I think because the reason I didn't hit on that is there are more like listing presentations. And today we weren't really going to hit on listing presentations. So that's a completely different class. And that's how come I didn't want to go too much in deep dive into that. Because that, again, I believe it's its own entity. but they do have them on there. Let me see. Yeah, I don't have one even pulled up.
I have a question.
Oh, go for it.
So I see on your slides here that you have one that's a closing cost breakdown. Are you able to go in and select each slide perhaps to pull it up or print? Because that was something I wanted to find out, is if there's a specific place to go where you can get the breakdown of closing costs so you can explain it to your client, whether it's a buyer or a seller.
Yes, so, well, this sheet here gives you that closing cost breakdown, and you can print off just this sheet if you wanted to. Now, what you may want to do as well is, if you do have a buyer, is print off a estimated like closing sheet from one of your title companies. Again, I'm not endorsing anybody, but most of the title companies have apps that you can go to. And so what I might do is, you know, say if they're looking at a $600,000 house, and maybe we've had a conversation that they're going to be using an FHA loan with 3.5% down, I may go and estimate a closing cost you know, sheet for them, and maybe break this down with it, you know, and put it like back to back. I've done that in the past, but at least this slide, you can print off any of these slides individually and utilize for whatever case that you may need.
Okay, thank you.
You're welcome. It's also very good. I like that you brought that up, because when you're going on a listing presentation, or sometimes when somebody comes in to open a house and they're a seller, they're always going to ask you, well, what are your fees? What are closing costs fees? So this is kind of good to have, because theirs is going to be a little bit different. They necessarily don't have a home inspection, and they may not have some underwriting fees and processing fees, but some of these, you know, they may have. So that kind of helps with that conversation to show your worth as well, that you're aware of what the closing costs are. I think closing costs should be another class.
This one's confusing though, because it makes it sound like it all comes out of escrow, and not all those fees come out of escrow.
No, they don't all come out of escrow. You know, their property appraisal and their home inspection don't come out of escrow. So. But that's just a conversation of why it's great to have some good affiliates that you can refer clients to, because they're going to have that great hand-holding experience for your client to really take what the closing costs are going to be and break it down for them. So that's one thing that you can show for your worth too, Jen, is that you can talk to them and say, you know, some of these items are not payable at closing. Some of them are due, you know, maybe once when an offer gets accepted within 10 to 12 days of escrow opening. But that's why it's important to have a good conversation with the lender, somebody that you trust, so we can have this conversation before we get to that point. Are you pre-approved with the lender? Do you need a recommendation for a lender that can sit with you and explain the whole process? If you don't have one, I greatly can supply you 3 or 4 recommendations of lenders. You always want to give at least 2 recommendations, I've found. You know, sometimes when there's 3 and 4, it gets a little bit too much. Any questions about some of these slides? That kind of wraps up some of the packets that I have utilized, and some of our agents here at our office utilize when they are working with buyers and sellers, just for like consultations. These are definitely not something, like I said, when you go on listing presentations, wouldn't be sharing any of this, because that's a whole other class. But it's always great to have at your beck and call for whenever you may need. I have an agent that keeps like 2 sets of each of these in their car in a folder, because they want to be prepared when they run into somebody and they start hitting it off, no matter where they're at, that they have items that they can go ahead and have that conversation with, and go ahead and start showing their value. Like I said, I'm not a paper lover, so I don't know if I would be doing that, but this one agent of mine does and loves it. So yes, I will put my contact information here, and we are recording this. Oops. And so we will make sure that anybody that wants slides, I'm happy to share any of the information that is customizable for you guys. Even if you guys need a hookup again of what the website is, or you know where you can go on Coldwell Banker to find all of that information, happy to share it. So I put that all in there. If there's anything else, Michael, do you have anything? Anybody else before we are like 7 minutes ahead of time. I love that. You're all welcome. Thank you again so much for everybody joining. I really appreciate that. Thank you.
Thanks.
Thank you. Thank you.
You're welcome. Now go out there and utilize this stuff. And don't be scared. Give me a call if you guys have questions. I'm more than happy to help answer.
Awesome.
Okay. And thank you, Jen, for moderating. I appreciate it. Thank you, everyone. Have a great day.
Thanks, you too. Bye-bye, everyone.
Thank you. Bye-bye.